Okay, so now I have walked you through the basics of food safety and preparation. Let's see whether maybe your knowledge has increased, and now um, we can come back and revisit the questions from the quiz, which I asked about you guys earlier. So let's see whether or not you change your answers after going through the presentation, or maybe your answers stayed the same after we finish the presentation. So let's go over them together, shall we? So remember, the first question was asking about thawing foods. So why not throwing foods on the countertop? And the reason being is when food are defrosted at room temperature, the actual temperature of the food may reach temperature above 40 degrees Celsius. So the portions of the food to be defrosted may be in fact be a perfect breeding environment for bacteria, while other portions remains colder. So it's the uneven thawing that's causing the problem. So bottom line, remember, never thaw your food on the countertop. You should thaw your food either in the refrigerator, in cold water, or in a microwave. So did you get that one right? Question number 2 was related to leftovers. So the question asked, why cover leftovers in the refrigerator? So there are 2 reasons. First, of course, to limit cross odors in the refrigerator, because sometimes if you got more smelly food, for example, pasta, or you make some meat sauces, or maybe you make some curry and you also have some ready to eat food, or you have some vegetables or salads, you don't want the cross odors in the refrigerator because it can smell kind of gross. And number 2 is to keep foods from contaminating each other or having food spill or fail into each other in the refrigerator. So always make sure you keep your lid on to avoid contaminating the food from contaminating each other. And question number 3, cooking ground beef. So the question asks, does cooking ground beef until it is no longer pink is a good way to tell its safety? The answer is no. The color of the meat is not a good indicator that the internal temperature of the meat has reached a safe temperature. So what would you do to ensure the meat has reached a safer temperature? You should use a food thermometer to test the internal temperature to make sure the food is safe to eat. So food thermometer, you should have 1 or 2 at home. Number 4, this is a very interesting question, and a lot of people actually would get it wrong. And later, when I go over the answers with you, you will be shocked on what we used to think was right for storing food in the fridge may actually not seem so right anymore. So let's take a look. So first of all, for condiments, you should put them on the door shelves. So they are on the right and left side, depends on how big your fridge is. So I got a big fridge at home, so I got both sides. So I can put my condiments or my beverages on the door shelves. And the reason why you keep them at the door shelves is because these are this is the place where the temperature is higher. It is the warmest part of the fridge, the door shelves. So keep the items here that contains preservative. For example, the jam, you can put it there, open jam jars, sauces, and juice. but don't put milk there because it can go off quickly. Moving on to the next shelves, so the upper shelves, we will put foods that don't need cooking, okay? And so these are the ready-to-eat food. For example, if you got some pre-cooked ham or breakfast ham, sausage, ready-to-eat deli meat, you can put them at the upper shelves. And the upper shelves are known to be the second warmest part of the fridge. So this is where it's best to put food that has already been cooked or doesn't need further cooking before you eat it. So that's why you put your ready-to-eat food at the upper shelves. Next, you should put your dairy in the lower or middle shelves because these are the colder areas in our refrigerator. So the milk and the dairy food needs to be kept under 4 degrees Celsius, so they need to be kept in the lower and middle shelves. The bottom shelves, what should you put in the bottom shelves? So they're usually the raw meat and the fish. The reason why we put them here is because we can reduce the risk of cross-contamination as the raw meat and fish juices could potentially leak down to the sides of the refrigerator if you place them on a higher place, so they can leak down and contaminate other food in the fridge. Therefore, by putting them at the bottom shelves, we avoid the risk of contamination. Even if they leak out, we can just quickly wipe them off and keep them clean. In the bottom drawers, you should put your vegetables and salads. That way you can separate them from the raw and the ready-to-eat food. And these items also require washing as well before you eat them. So just quickly go through them again. Door shelves, condiments, okay? Upper shelves, you put food that don't need cooking, so you're ready to eat food. Lower and middle shelves, you put your dairy food there because they need to be kept in a colder temperature. Bottom shelves are for raw meat and fish. And you put all your vegetables, salads, herbs, fruits in the drawers. So that's the proper arrangement for food that go into your fridge. So do you arrange your fridge this way at home? Hopefully you do. If not, then maybe you should start reorganizing your fridge. Throw out things that are already past the expiring date, because surprisingly, a lot of people keep expiring food in their fridge still because they never check after they buy the food. So you should go through your food at least once a week to make sure that things are not expiring, or use them quickly if they're closer to the expiring date, and store each food at the proper shelves like we show in this diagram. And number 5, the last question we ask you guys about is condiments. So what goes into the fridge and what goes into the cupboard. So let's see if you guys got it right. Okay, so for the fridge, you will actually put your jam, your mayonnaise, lemon juice, mustard jars, eggs and butter, salad dressings, nut oils in the fridge. These food items require cold temperature and moisture. Actually, I should say it this way. These items require to be kept in certain temperature and moisture. So the best way to keep them is in the fridge, where the temperature and moisture is controlled. while in the cupboard, it's considered room temperature. Sometimes it can get more humid or warmer, depends on the indoor temperature. So it depends on the temperature in your house. So these are things that you can probably put in the cupboard. They will be okay. Include include bread. Okay, so unless you want to keep your bread for a longer time, you freeze them. Otherwise, don't put your bread in the fridge. You can just put them in the cupboard if you're going to eat them within 1 or 2 days. You can put your peanut butter in the cupboard. It won't go off. You can put your soy sauce, vinegar, mustard powder, probably your hot sauce as well in the cupboard. So now after this course, I want you to go back home to re-examine your cupboard and your fridge and make sure you switch things around. If they don't belong to the fridge, take them out and move it to the cupboard, or vice versa. If they don't belong to the cupboard, move them to the fridge. And the take-home message for this entire presentation are as following. Proper hand washing, sing the happy birthday song twice. Make sure that's the time required for proper hand washing. Make sure you use antibacterial soap for it while cleaning your hands, and use the dry towel, single-use dry towel to dry your hands. And the 4 important steps for food preparation. So clean, separate, cook, and chill. And lastly, remember the danger zone. Always get a food thermometer at home so you can check the internal temperature. Avoid leaving food in the danger zone. Hold your hot food hot and keep your cold food cold. That's the bottom line. So have you guys all learned that? This will be the most important message I hope all of you will remember. If you don't remember anything for this presentation, at least remember these 3 things I'm showing on this slide. And this is just to show you where I got the good information from. So a couple of references that you can go online and check. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. They provide a lot of very useful information. Health Canada, Canadian Food Inspection Agency, and Canadian Institute of Food Safety, they always have consumers handouts, some fact sheets, and some videos that you can watch. These are all great ideas and knowledge that you can visit throughout from time to time to get up-to-date information. And they're all credible sources as well. So very lastly, I want to thank you all for enrolling in this food safety and preparation course with me. I'm sure you all learned a lot from it, and you will be benefit from this presentation and bring the knowledge and the skills you learn back to your workplace, or even just use some of the techniques you learned from this presentation and use it at home. Educate your staff or your families and friends, and so each of us can be watching and each of us can make sure that our food is safe to eat, and we limit our chance of getting food poisoning. So thank you again for enrolling in this course, and I hope to see you guys in the future. Again, I'm Dr. Jessica Lin. My contact information is on this slide as well, so if you need, feel free to email Okay, thank you very much, and we'll end our presentation for today. Thank you and take care.